Testing stroke width with the ADA Font Guide. Typographers describe many aspects of type and fonts that can affect how easy text is to read. The types of fonts allowed on compliant signage are very limited. It is not allowed to have a mixture of upper and lower case letters on a sign, for example. It is not allowed to have serifed fonts on a sign. The small tails at the ends of strokes can make the font easier to read for those who can see, but hinder those using touch to read the sign. Decorative fonts are not only hard to read by touch, but also hard for many sighted people to perceive. They are an example of showing elegance by being difficult to read. Where the ADA/ABA guidelines give many of the features of signs a range of acceptable features, the stroke width, or thickness of the lines of the fonts are specified as a single value, 15% of the height of the font. This means that signs with very thin fonts are not allowed. Similarly, signs with bold or thick fonts are also not allowed. It also means that fonts that have tapered strokes making up the letters are not allowed. Assessing stroke width with the font guide. Most of the measures of fonts using the font guide use the pivot as a reference point. The determination of stroke width is different. The position of the pivot is not relevant. Only the points at which the arm reference line enters and leaves the stroke width window matter. You will recall that the lowest window on the protractor of the font guide is the stroke width window. When the font guide has been set to the font height, the arm reference line will cross the stroke width window at an angle. Place the font guide on the sign with the arm horizontal and align the left edge of a vertical stroke with the point at which the arm reference line enters the stroke width window. If the font has an acceptable stroke width, the right edge of the stroke should be just at the point where the arm reference line leaves the stroke width window.